Good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the second edition of UBC News tonight at 10 p.m. with me, Moureen Babirye, and my colleague Mohamed Mogalu on sign language. In our first report tonight, President Yoweri Museveni has reaffirmed his commitment to development, wealth creation and national stability, pledging that in the new term of office set to begin next month, government will fast-track the distribution of free coffee seedlings to farmers across the country. The president made the remarks while presiding over celebrations marking the Lango sub-region's appreciation of the NRM and his January 2026 election victory. The event was held at Lango Technical College in Leda District.
In Lango sub-region, President Yoweri Museveni kicked off the feast with private engagements, which included the laying of the wreath at the grave of the late Ambassador Joseph Ochwet. The brief ceremony was attended by family members, friends and well-wishers.
Your Excellency, sir, after laying wreath on the graves of my late father and my late wife, who are resting behind there, so we have no better words to thank you.
I would like, therefore, using this occasion, to go back to the issue of ideology, the way of thinking. The first principle, that time we were using the word nationalism, but these days we prefer to use patriotism. Patriotism, but they mean roughly the same.
Later in the day, President Museveni arrived at Lango Technical College in Lira for public victory, celebrations and Thanksgiving events.
I want to thank all members of parliament, all councillors, all voters for the good job they listened to us and to you when you came for election in Lango.
The event began with a prayer led by a team of clergy from Lango sub-region.
But will open a new chapter of purpose. As Lango has given generously, Lord, may Lango also be remembered.
Cabinet ministers, politicians, cultural leaders and opinion leaders occupied designated sitting areas.
You have brought in prosperity. There's a lot of development. Lira City is signing.
The men of God did not only deliver a gospel message, but also extended words of gratitude to the president.
Above all, we thank you for what you have done in our land of Lango.
The gathering, which included members of the public, reflected a broad moment of a celebration across Lango's sub-region.
You return to Lango, a sub-region where you kick-started your 2026 presidential campaign. A sub-region that set the bar, standard and tone for the 2026 presidential campaign mobilization.
The event went beyond an election victory celebrations, also making an appreciation for peace, security and ongoing development in the region.
The people of Lango would like to appreciate you for the developments that we have received in Lango in the last 40 years. Allow me to start with the parish development model.
In his address, President Museveni commended the people of Lango for their continued support to the NRM party and their contributions to the national development agenda.
Apoyo Luakme Lango for Queen Mabel.
Number two, I thank the people of Lango for voting wisely.
He further reiterated his long-standing message on wealth creation, urging communities in Lango sub-region to actively engage in income-generating activities.
Now that the elections are over, things to be done are many. But me, I always insist on priorities among priorities. Now, priority number one is to make sure that all the households which have not benefited from PDM, in the next 5 years, all of them benefit.
As he prepares for the new 5-year term of office, President Museveni emphasized that priority funding will be directed towards agricultural transformation and other key socio-economic transformation sectors.
That's why, therefore, the leaders should not just talk generally, should be specific, parish by parish. How many homesteads have received the 1 million and how many are remaining? Because those who get support get out of poverty.
Lango sub-region is among the areas where both President Museveni and the NRM party recorded strong support in the January 2026 general elections, securing major elective positions. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
A long-running land dispute in Katanga near Makerere University is once again drawing attention, with leaders proposing fresh solutions to secure residents' future. The contested land owned by Makerere University has been home to thousands of occupants for decades.
The resident city commissioner Kawempe Division Kagenyi Lucas says many residents lack formal ownership, leaving them vulnerable to eviction. In 2000, 4 indigenous families took legal action against Makerere University, the Attorney General and the Commissioner for Land Registration over repeated eviction threats.
The case dragged on for 15 years until July 2015, when Justice Alphonse Owinidoro, as he was then, came and gave out his judgment. In the judgment, he said it is true, Makerere is the landlord. Now you are all bona fide occupants and all your licenses.
Among the proposals is a request for the state to purchase the land and redistribute it to residents.
We agreed to write a letter calling for a mediation meeting between them and Pastor Daniel Warugembe, who is alleged to be the biggest Chibanja holder here with 28.75 decimals. 2, we agreed, because they raised an issue of hygiene, we agreed that I should write a letter to the director KCC in charge of public health, Dr. Sarah Zarango, to come with the division team and we inspected the facility.
Alternative options include forming a public-private partnership to redevelop the area into a modern Katanga model village, or constructing condominium houses under a rent-to-own arrangement.
Was to ensure that in case government fails to do a partnership, it can develop the land, and by building condominium houses, then it rents to these people for a certain period of time until they own them. But we've gotten option 4, which is to write Makerere University, the landlord, holding a freehold title here, so that Makerere University can issue what we call certificate of occupancy.
For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
Relatedly, tensions are rising in Chisanja village, Masindi district, following a violent confrontation linked to a long-standing land dispute involving the Catholic Church under the Hoima Diocese. The church maintains that its presence on the contested land dates back to the 1920s, citing historical records and early missionary activity in the area. However, local residents claim the land belonged to their late grandfather, the late Duongo Rujumba, dating back to the early 1940s. Take a look.
Police from Masindi Central Police Station swiftly responded to the scene and managed to calm the situation under the command of the DPC Masindi, Pensive Tukasimire. However, church members remained agitated.
tibaina kibakuzire gogo tukubagamba tumubakwata abo baizegembe baturolera bati imagine barugire kuri baraba baisomero
Police urged them to remain calm to allow further investigations and also requested them to submit genuine documents for verification.
Saide ne ya father yalese empapula naye saide ne ndala tena leta ate tubadde tusaba nga bwe mugambe mulina empapula muzirete nazo tuzitunule mu.
This comes despite Masindi High Court having previously ruled in favor of the church. The Duongo Rujumba family has since filed an appeal at Masindi High Court. The chairperson of the elderly in the church, Ayesiga Annette, said the matter dates back to the early 1920s, noting that the church and the school have existed on the same land for years. She expressed shock as a single family is now claiming ownership of the land.
Niyo eremeseize eichaka part of the land yone litwaire. Nerikali tusigaize akajogo kakozereki kahingura ine.
Leonard Asaba, the PTA chairperson, said this is a government-owned school and questioned how some individuals are putting children's safety at risk.
Things started as early as 1996, after the demise of their grandfather. We had no grudge with those the Donga family. The school, since then, has been in troubles only. As we talk now, the staff, the children, the pupils are also under a threat, terrible threat.
The administrator of the disputed land, Komugisa Joram, told the police at the scene that the land was acquired by his late grandfather from Bunyoro Kingdom and is well documented.
Grandfather bought the land in the Bunyoro Kingdom and the certificate of occupancy is at hand. We have it. Even the judgment, the magistrate took charge to move carefully until he reached a certain point and rejected or judged the way he thought.
The OCCID Masindi urged both parties to present documentation for proper verification, while the DPC Masindi emphasized that land disputes cannot be resolved on the spot and warned against taking the law into their own hands, adding that arrests will be made if necessary.
In other news, senior citizens have completed the 2026 Gerontological Alternative Dispute Resolution graduation ceremony at St. Francis Chapel Training Center, Makerere University, where they were awarded certificates in mediation, guidance and counseling, pre-bargaining, collaborative law, and related conflict resolution skills. Representing the chief guest, Justice Professor Andrew Kahuka called on the graduates to become ambassadors of peace by applying the knowledge gained to mediate disputes and promote harmony within Ugandan communities. We have the details. Justice Professor Andrew Kahuka has encouraged graduates to put their training into practice by mediating peace and helping resolve conflicts across the country.
We have seen former members of parliament, retired chief administrative officers, representatives of the elderly in here, and all they are saying is, can we also come and work with the Chief Justice to support alternative dispute resolution and alternative justice systems? So as you heard from the CJ's remarks, 90% of the disputes are resolved in the communities.
The chairperson of Gerontological Alternative Dispute Resolution, Bishop Amos Magezi, who is also a graduate, has called on the government of Uganda to consider empowering senior citizen graduates to play a key role in resolving community conflicts.
The young people, we know where they came from, but senior citizens are not known as where they came from unless if they are consulted or listened to. So we want to create an opportunity where these senior citizens can be sought for advice, for instruction and everything.
Senior facilitator Dr. Abraham Nabwe has urged graduates to uphold strong ethical principles in their respective workplaces, stressing integrity as key to professional success.
My message is to practice what they have been learning, because it's very important. It's easy to be trained and then you just keep your but the practice is almost everywhere, even in the village. Police need us, politicians need us, families need us, marriages need us.
Meanwhile, graduates including members of Kropa and Princess Nasolo have appealed to government to sponsor more senior citizens to acquire additional skills that can benefit communities and the nation at large.
I advise the president to train more people, to sponsor so many other old persons to train this course so that it can help to reduce people in Ruzira.
Course helps, first of all, to reconcile the disagreement that may take place. Then you harmonize and you remain friendly.
Stakeholders at Isbat University have issued a strong call to action for academia, industry and government to urgently strengthen collaboration, invest in skills development and realign education systems to meet the demands of a rapidly evolving technology-driven workforce. The call was made during the Human Resource Leadership Conclave held at the university, bringing together human resource managers and practitioners from across the country to discuss the future of human capital development.
Isbat University has called for stronger collaboration between academia and industry to address the growing human resource skills gap as emerging technologies continue to reshape the workspace. Speaking during the HR engagement, the Director Academic Affairs at Isbat University, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, says the discussions focused on the role of human resource professionals in a fast-changing technological landscape and the widening gap between graduate skills and employer expectation.
How the changing role of HR is coming to take decision not in months or weeks, but in minutes. How we can work on, so what we discussed today, that what exactly is the current role based on the traditional way of working, what is the futuristic directions. Also we discussed what are the current challenges of HR.
Mal further highlighted the urgency of continuous reskilling and upskilling, noted that emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, automation, and data analytics are rapidly transforming the nature of work while exposing critical skills shortages.
So what the major thing is, there is a very huge demand that industry and academia should join hand together. And in our curriculum, the Isbat University has a separate space for taking care of emerging technologies.
The Vice-Chancellor, Isbat University, Dr. K.M. Matthew, highlighted the urgent need to align academic training with industry demands.
5 is to link with all the industry and all the HR people so our students get suitable chances for doing internship and they become very competent and very expert in their respective fields.
Chief People and Culture Officer at the National Social Security Fund, NSSF, Hilton Owori, noted that emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, automation and data analytics are evolving at a rapid pace.
And the emphasis of HR people understanding this before they can support other people to equally understand it and before they can provide thought leadership in organizations in terms of how they can transform the challenges into opportunities.
Ori emphasized the importance of transforming challenges into opportunities.
Depth of skills that individuals bring on the job. There will be 1,000 people who have that same degree like you, but what's the unique proposition you bring on the table?
Stakeholders agreed that continuous collaboration between universities and employers will be key in preparing a future-ready workforce in an increasingly digital world. Irene Faith Nantongo, Proskovia Chontawaili, UBC News.
The Ministry of Education and Sports has issued a stern warning to secondary schools across the country following poor participation in government-led programs designed to sharpen students' critical thinking skills. The concern comes after the 2026 National Essay Competition drew entries from fewer than 100 schools nationwide, raising alarm among education officials about student engagement under the competence-based curriculum. Take a look. The Commissioner for Government Secondary Education, Juliet Atuhaidwe Kazora, has released the essay competition results 2026.
Wow, thank you.
However, the key findings in the essay competitions indicate a low turnout of secondary schools, use of artificial intelligence content in the competitions, which has raised concerns.
Received a total number of 445 scripts. That is quite low. Those were only 54 schools, and considering that we have over 5,000 schools, I think that was really low, because this is a competition that is open to all secondary schools.
Would like to inform head teachers of both government secondary schools and private secondary schools in this country that this is a ministry program which should not be taken just for granted. We keep record of the schools that have been participating, but we also make a trumpet sound that schools, when this syllabus comes on, take it on.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education and Sports has launched the 2026 National Music, Dance and Drama Festival. The festival is expected to attract participation from secondary schools across the country, providing a platform to promote student talent in various fields, as well as support initiatives such as the Nehemiah initiative in schools,
which shoots into mitigation of issues of climate change, which shoots into environmental protection, which shoots into providing a conducive learning and safe learning environment for our children.
The Western Choral original composition, where participants or schools will have to compose a song in the Western choral style on a given theme.
These competitions aim to support learners in self-discovery, prepare them for the job market, and strengthen the implementation of competence-based curriculum in schools. From Kampala, we take you to Mbale, where the 2026 14th Uganda Manufacturers Association Trade Fair has been officially launched in Mbale City, with leaders calling for urgent infrastructural development in eastern Uganda to boost regional trade. The Umukuka wa Bugisu, His Royal Highness Jude Mike Modoma, says improving roads, electricity and other key infrastructure will position Uganda to effectively tap into markets across East Africa, including Kenya, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Ethiopia. Take a look.
The trade fair, organized by the Uganda Manufacturers Association, will run from the 5th to the 14th of June 2026 under the theme Formalizing Trade to Secure Uganda's Economic Future. While officiating at the launch of the 2026 Trade Fair in Mbale City, the Umukuka wa Inzu ya Masaba, His Royal Highness Jude Mike Modoma, said the event will provide a platform to strengthen cross-border trade and showcase Uganda's industrial potential.
Today, we are a hub linking Uganda to South Sudan, Ethiopia, Congo, Kenya, and the far north. International trade routes, the Great North Road passes through Mbale.
The cultural leader also emphasized the need to utilize the abundant raw materials in the Bugisu sub-region and promote value addition as a strategy to accelerate industrial growth and improve household incomes.
The raw materials are here. The routes are here. The market is waiting for you. Invest in value addition right here in the east. Build the cement plants here. Don't take our stones to Kampala.
Meanwhile, Uganda Manufacturers Association leadership has highlighted the importance of the annual trade fair in driving Uganda's industrial sector, which contributes significantly to the country's GDP.
Nationally, industrial parks have attracted about $3.3 billion in foreign direct investment. Manufacturing contributes 16.5% of GDP, with strong export potential to Kenya, South Sudan and DRC.
The chairperson of the organizing committee, Regina Namuonge, says this year's event focuses on agricultural education to empower farmers with knowledge and skills to improve productivity and livelihoods.
We are going to teach people how to turn raw items like cassava, maize, rice, and all the other products into a bigger value-added product.
As Mbari Industrial Park, we expect to benefit from this trade fair in a way of creating awareness, letting the community know what we produce, what we manufacture from Uganda by Industrial Park.
A number of companies have already confirmed participation in the exhibition.
Euroform is bringing all the innovations. We want to have comfort, experience comfort here in Mbale. We are having a manufacturing of cement in Mbale itself.
Our customers who will be coming to our store, that once you buy a hair product, we get to give you a hair look for free.
In another development, Brigham Young University Pathway Worldwide has today celebrated the achievement of its graduates in Uganda, recognizing over 100 students who successfully completed various academic programs. The ceremony honored 116 graduates, including 98 who completed Pathway Connect, 18 who earned associate degrees, and 6 who attained bachelor's degrees from Brigham Young University, Idaho, and Ensign College.
The program provides access to affordable, fully online education, equipping students with both academic knowledge and practical skills.
It's not really to be in spreading the gospel, but it's really to be an example in both the temporal and spiritual affairs of the world. We expect these students to be good timekeepers, faithful and honest people at their places of work, and people that can work to sustain themselves. And so self-reliance is a principle that we've taught them, and we hope that they'll be able to create and start businesses and be able to also support the businesses locally here in Uganda.
BYU Pathway does not confer degrees directly. It prepares students to study with partner universities abroad.
What you need to have is a passion for education, online learning, because it is done all online. And other than that, you would need to get an ecclesiastical endorsement from your leader, probably from the sheikh, or a church leader at the Catholic Church or the Protestant Church, whichever church you go to. This church is open.
Graduates described the opportunity as life-changing.
It's a miracle to be here. Yeah, not everyone has gotten this chance to be what we are today. We are very, very happy, grateful to the Almighty who has given us this chance to be in such a prestigious institution.
They highlighted newly acquired skills in fields as software development, saying they are now ready to enter the job market, start businesses, and contribute to national development.
Achieving skills, achieving such an education at a very low cost, at a very prestigious university. So I'm glad.
Graduates were urged to embrace hard work, integrity and self-reliance, encouraging them to become responsible leaders in their communities.
Will you use that knowledge? Will you use the skills you have acquired today to develop yourself, to develop your family, to develop the church, your calling, to develop your community, to develop the country?
The program remains open to applicants aged 17 and above, regardless of background, with officials calling on more Ugandans to take advantage of the opportunity. For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
Now, folic acid uptake among expectant mothers in Kumi district is just 28%, despite government restocking efforts. Health experts stress that beyond supply, awareness and family support are essential to increase usage and prevent birth defects in unborn babies. We have the details.
Despite folic acid being available in Kumi district health facilities, few expectant mothers use it to prevent birth defects.
In Kumi, we are also, I think, around 28% of low ANC attendance.
Experts emphasize that beyond access, awareness and family support are crucial for improving uptake and protecting unborn babies.
You find it that the women are able to explain that I am pregnant and I need support to go to a facility, but the men are not supporting the women to go to the facility and attend antenatal.
The consequences are already evident with the rising number of children born with disabilities, conditions that in many cases could have been prevented through proper maternal care.
So we as healthcare professionals and maternal and child health specialists encourage that mothers, one, should be able to attend antenatal early within the first 3 months, and this is when we administer the folic acid.
Many of these children endure stigma within their communities, while schools remain poorly equipped to provide adequate support for their needs.
So I went to a sighted school, but I could receive abuses. More than abuses. They could abuse me that now, look at this blind one also.
School, some areas learners are not able, teachers are not able to handle those learners with the advanced disabilities. So it also causes them to leave school and find ways to the village.
Kumi Hospital Ngino, working with partners under BEN program, is stepping in to support affected families, offering rehabilitation services and advocating for inclusive education.
So we're very grateful for this BEN project to create awareness, to advocate, to look at health, to look at rehabilitation, to look at education, to look at vocational training, to look at livelihoods.
Our people in Katanga and the great work we do here, all want you to say your stories as testimonies of the gospel, faith in action. In fact, in James 1:27 states, faith without action is dead.
The 5-year project, which has brought hope to many, is set to close in 2018, raising concerns about sustainability and the future once funding ends.
We really have hope that maybe in the next 5 years, other development partners will jump in and say, no, let's continue with the BEN activities of disability engagements. But remember, government of Uganda is also preaching the concept of integration.
Oko Joseph, UBC.
In relation to that, the health sector in Uganda is set for a boost as 413 graduates from Kampala School of Health Sciences join the workforce, with education leaders urging them to uphold professionalism, ethics and patient-centered care in their practice. Take a look. Assistant Commissioner in charge of Health Education and Training at the Ministry of Education and Sports, Dr. Paul Kasigaire, who represented the chairperson of TVET Council, emphasized the importance of ethics among health professionals. He noted that fresh graduates must prioritize patients and adhere to the highest standards of conduct in their practice.
Care, in brief, stands for competence in your work, accountability in your actions, respect for life, ethics in all the decisions you make when you are treating the patient.
The principal of Kampala School of Health Sciences, Prosper Mubangizi, urged graduates to embrace soft skills and practice professionalism as a critical tool in addressing Uganda's health challenges.
They have been trained to go and offer medical care, which should result into the healing of the patients. So we don't expect them, or we don't expect to hear them doing any unethical practice, which can lead them to medical litigation.
I encourage our dear graduates to be brave and take risks in maintaining your integrity, but maintain your dignity. Put that clear space for the new challenges we're going to face. Focus on your goals, but above all, trust God who chose you to be health workers.
Graduates at the ceremony expressed gratitude for reaching this milestone, pledging to serve with dedication and professionalism in their respective fields.
It's a kind of process, but for real,
we have achieved it by the God's grace. I'm so happy.
Happy today because it was our day. I did this pharmacy because I was inspired by many people because pharmacy is a good course. With a diploma level in human nutrition. So I'm so happy for this achievement. Today it was a big day. It's my day.
Thank you so much, Mr. DJ.
Now from Buloba, we take you to Kagadi, where health workers, NRM leaders, local council officials and the clergy in the district have appealed to President Museveni to urgently upgrade Kagadi Hospital to a regional referral facility and improve key road infrastructure in the area. The appeal was made during President Museveni's victory celebrations held at the URDT Reflection Center in Kagadi Town Council. Leaders say the hospital is overwhelmed, serving patients from over 5 districts, including neighboring DR Congo, while facing severe shortages of doctors and equipment. The district health officer, Kajumba Theodore, and medical superintendent, Dr. Kaijamurubi Gregory, noted that the facility is overstretched due to rising patient numbers. Now, leaders also called for construction of roads linking to Mohoro Ndaiga to DR Congo, Kagadi Changwali, and the Kabalega Oil and Airport Corridor, as well as salary enhancement for local council leaders. The Minister of State for Transport, Fred Byamukama, pledged to forward the concerns to the President and encouraged leaders to promote accountability and service delivery.
Attending to all referrals who are coming in and also attending to other patients who are coming for treatment and also attending other patients.
We deliver between 300 close to 600 mother deliveries a month. And in Nicho, on average, we admit 100 babies a month. So that is quite a big number given our human resource.
There are some records which we mentioned in that memorandum, like uplifting the Kagadi hospital to a referral hospital because it is in a bad status. It's not matching with government of NRM government of today we have.
Leaders, especially sub-county chiefs and the councillors, their salary is too low. It cannot be enough to facilitate them to monitor government programs, to reach people. It is too little. That's why you find that we leaders, we don't reach our people every time they need us. So we can request that they increase our salary, and we don't hesitate that Uganda is now rich. Uganda is rich. We have enough money. It is a matter of planning properly. The Chenzije Rugashari Changwari Road. That road has been promised by the president. Now it is 15 years. And that road connects Kampala, Kagadi, and Changwari to the airport. It is a shortcut.
Who are misusing the government money, the PDM and whatnot. Everybody should know that the president has been very clear on issues of corruption. As Kagadi district, we are not going to tolerate corruption. Issues of extorting money from beneficiaries, issues of giving money to people who are not coming from that part.
From Kigezi Diocese comes a remarkable celebration of love and faith. John Wilson Twino Musinguzi and Enid Faith Twino Musinguzi have marked 50 years of marriage, renewing their vows in a golden jubilee Thanksgiving ceremony filled with joy, reflection, and gratitude. The special occasion was officiated by Bishop Emeritus of Kigezi Diocese, Right Reverend George Katwesije, in a powerful tribute to a union built on enduring commitment, service, and God's grace. Take a look.
A golden milestone in marriage was celebrated in Kavale as renowned Ugandan couple John Wilson Trinom Singuzi and Enid Faith Trinom Singuzi marked 50 years of marriage in a heartfelt Thanksgiving ceremony filled with gratitude, reflection and family celebration. The celebration brought together family, friends and members of the church community to honor a union that has withstood 5 decades of shared life, faith and commitment. The Thanksgiving service was presided over by the Bishop Emeritus of Kigezi Diocese, Right Reverend George Katwesige, who commended the couple for their enduring love and steadfast faith. Preaching from scripture, Bishop Katwesige emphasized love as the foundation of a lasting marriage, noting that couples who remain anchored in love stay rooted in God through all seasons of life.
This couple of today has lived to what they agreed upon when they started. To love each other and to continue in that love and be able to celebrate it publicly.
In a moving moment during the service, John and Enid Trinom Singuzi renewed their marriage vows before the congregation, reaffirming their lifelong commitment to each other. He highlighted that their 50-year journey stands as a testimony of faithfulness and divine guidance in marriage.
Join yourself together. When you join yourself together, you make a firm home. I have lived in Museveni for 50 years because of one, resilience, being happy, and when things are there.
Marriage is not a very difficult thing because it depends very much on what you bring into it. If you are open-minded and you are prepared to make a success of it, and you are prepared to sacrifice and adjust and modify in order to accommodate the interests and aspirations of your partner.
Speaking during the celebration, John Trinom Singuzi reflected on their journey, describing it as one shaped by challenges, resilience and unwavering faith.
We have already found that compromise, avoidance of unnecessary arguments, competitiveness between couples and rigidity and perpetuating old myths from our own past is the biggest impediment. Once you are clear-headed and you know where you are going and you are committed to the success of the enterprise of marriage, it is easy.
Don't try to be the other person. Be yourself. And when you are still courting, tell that person, this is my strength, this is my weakness. So that the person you are getting understands your strengths, understands your weakness. When you are together, you try to promote the strength and you try to inhibit the weakness. That's how we have made our 50 years.
As they mark 50 years together, the Trinom Singuzi's union stands as a powerful testament to enduring love, commitment and God's guidance through the decades.
When you don't use Momo, you are forced to quarrel.
Mama, kabalansi? Nkuwaire 15. Mama, nkuwaire 15.
Ompaire 15.
Abantu abakulu mwatandise obuyaye mwene.
Obuyaye obuliga.
Iwe.
Ngobi yanko ba
sente dange ninzade kolera ngobi nakolera sente dange.
Save yourself from quarreling. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
Some people think when a woman starts leading in business, the home will suffer. But many families are discovering the opposite.
Before, I worked hard in our business, but I feared making big decisions. I was worried people would say I was disrespecting my husband. Then I joined the GROW project, where I received training, business support, and coaching that helped me plan better, manage money wisely, and make decisions with confidence. Today, I lead with confidence in my business. I contribute more at home, support our family needs, and help reduce the burden on my husband. I'm not competing with my husband, I'm standing with him.
And our marriage has not weakened. It has grown stronger. We understand each other better, we plan better, and our family is better off because her voice counts.
When a woman is supported to lead, the family can move forward.
The GROW project is empowering women with skills, confidence, and support to make informed decisions that strengthen their families and grow their businesses. Respect her voice, support her choices. For more information, contact your district or city GROW project focal person or call 0800 307 777. The GROW project is a government initiative implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and Private Sector Foundation Uganda with support from the World Bank.
On his 52nd birthday, General MK invites you for a charity run. The run will be held on 26th April 2026 at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds starting at 6 a.m. Get yourself a kit using these MTN and Airtel payment platforms. Run for charity, run for hope.
Run for charity, run for hope.
When you don't use Momo, you get insulted by strangers. Save yourself from insults. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
Welcome back. Now, what if Kampala's traffic jam could be eased not by widening roads, but by building a whole new industrial city outside it? That is exactly the vision Chinese investor Paul Zhang is bringing to life in Lusenke, Kayunga district. The move, welcomed by Investment and Privatization Minister Evelyn Anite on behalf of government, is seen as a game changer for Uganda's economy. Henry Okrut reports.
Set to be established on 1,200 acres of land near a hydropower station, the proposed Kayunga Industrial Park is already drawing attention.
How are you? I'm fine. You're very good.
This will be Paul Zhang's third industrial zone in Uganda, after Mbale and Mbalala Mukono, both now buzzing with factories and thousands of workers. The vision this time goes beyond factories.
Yet again, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has granted him 1,200 acres of land in Kayunga near the hydro power station for an industrial zone.
From mobile phone assembly to steel, mattresses and vehicle production, Zhang's footprint in Uganda's manufacturing sector is hard to miss. Now, with a fresh wave of Chinese investors joining him, new factories in solar energy and chemical production are expected to take shape in Kayunga.
And Mr. Paul Zhang wants to build an industrial city which is going to create 50,000 jobs It is very exciting news for us because we are not talking about a new person. We are talking about a household name.
Beyond jobs, government sees this as a step towards Uganda's bigger economic ambition of growing into a $500 billion economy.
My plea to the fellow citizens is, let us support these investors for the growth of our economy, for us to grow our GDP to $500 billion US.
For Paul Zhang, the idea is simple. Take opportunity closer to the people.
All other district people come to Kampala, make Kampala jam, traffic, and pollution. If I build near Kampala, in Kayunga, our children can walk in Kayunga.
It is a bold comparison with Shenzhen, once a small fishing village, now one of China's most modern industrial cities. Zhang believes Kayunga can follow a similar path.
There are not only one industrial park. It means special zone. It's a city because school there, hospital there, church there, is shopping mall there. Lot of opportunity in Kayunga.
If this promise is delivered, the Kayunga industrial city could redefine how Uganda grows by spreading industry beyond the capital. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now that wraps up our second bulletin of the night. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. My name is Moureen Babirye with my colleague Mohamed Mugalu on sign language. We bid you good night.